Hello, are we live? Yay! Is anyone there? Yeah, there's someone in the chat. Grant and MES and A. We're live! And you guys there? Hey Grant, what's up? Sorry I'm late. See what we have here. Oh, I have a really small screen. Good. Alright, whatever. I'm not gonna worry about that right now. How you guys doing? Cleoa? You're new. Welcome. I haven't seen you here. I'm still in the same time zone, but I was busy recording training actually, and I wanted to finish. I just got into the zone and didn't want it to stop. And when I finished, I was like, "Oh crap! It's past over 4." So here I am now. I need to change the scale of my Houdini. Too big. Haven't changed the screen for this. I switch so much. I shouldn't switch so much operating systems, but I switch so much. It's so cool. No worries, Grant. I'm here. Hope you guys brought your own questions. Yeah, that size of Houdini is so small. It's like quarter of my screen. But alright, it will work for today. It will work for today. So how are you guys doing? The weather's pretty nice here. And I had to change my monitor layout, so I'm getting used to looking at this direction today. Which is weird because I was used to looking in this direction, and now I'm looking in this direction because my monitor had to be on this side. Things, you know, recording tutorials is not that simple as some people think. Alright, so are there any questions? I'm gonna start with a question somebody asked me, I think like 2 days ago. And by the way, I'm recording, I just finished volume 1 of new training. The new website's gonna be out next week if everything goes correctly as planned. So you can have like a little peek of the site. Here's the new site. There's some stuff here that it's a placeholder still, so don't look at this, guys. But yeah, this will kind of be like the new website. There's still some stuff to work on, but this will be kind of one of the courses like this. I develop all this player in these days and whatever, just a little sneak peek of what's gonna happen with the site. It's gonna be really nice. Should launch maybe next week. And I just finished, let me show you guys my art station. You have seen this image from me, this one. I just finished part 1 of doing this stuff from scratch. All the modeling is going to be volume 1. All the texturing, UVs in both in both Houdini and 3D Code, it's going to be volume 2. And then putting it all together in rendering, lighting, and compositing into a scene is going to be part 3. It's going to be really cool. I'm really excited about that stuff. I think I shared that image. Let me show the final image. This is the final image. It is composite on a real scene here. That's what that's what I'm working on right now. So hope you guys are excited about that. I'm really pumped about this. I'm really enjoying the project a lot. So let's see. Velocity pass from Houdini for mantra. Sure, I can do that. Each frame crops according to the alpha. There's a cropping option. You should remove that. Will you have a track to collide a flip with a fem object? Tentacles that are influenced by the liquid. I'm not sure, but tentacles that are influenced by the fluid, you can do that. You can make the fluid react. I mean, push objects around. Thank God, the site's looking great. I've been working a lot with PHP and CSS code, which is weird. Okay, so how to create a motion vectors? It's it's one of those difficult things in Houdini that shouldn't be that difficult. So let's try and recreate that. I did this for a recent project, actually for Jumanji. I created some of this stuff. So let's do a sphere. Let's animate this guy. All right. Let's put some transform keys here. Let's move it over here. Just moving in one direction will be enough, or let's just move it up. Alright, so it's moving like that, right? It's really small in my screen, so just bear with me. I can barely see the numbers and stuff. Alright, so what you need to do is, let's have a material for this. Let's go with a principal shader. Let's apply that to the ball. Let's make it just green so we know it's applied. And call it ball. And we need to unlock this, allow editing. And we can go inside here. We're not going to modify anything inside here. But we need some nodes to create the velocity pass. So we need the blur node, get blur P. So we need two of these guys. Let's copy it, put it one to 0 and the other one to 1. Let's see if I can remember this by just from my mind without any cheating. So now let's subtract this from this, and then we can export this, bind export to, let's call this motion vector. Motion vectors, and then connect that one there. Should override it with the input, so it's not gonna be a float. Actually, it's gonna be like a vector, because this is a vector. Yeah, it is a vector, so it will override the type here. So as long as this guy it's enabled. So now we just have this variable called motion vectors in the mantra node that we're gonna create right now. Mantra PVR. Let's do this. Export variables. I mean extra images, extra image planes. And let's add one here. I'm gonna call it exactly the name we called it here. Motion vectors, and it's gonna be a vector type, of course. Now we should be able. Let me override the size of the camera and create a camera, because I don't have a camera right now. Let's do this. The camera is a little bit low. There we go. We should be just about done. Let's do the render. And let's see if we have motion vectors here. We have the motion vector there, but there's nothing there because we are not rendering. Sorry, we don't have motion vectors enabled here in the mantra. Wrap, go to rendering, and my mouse is acting weird. Rendering, rendering, where is it? Oh, here it is. Allow motion blur here. Now we should be seeing some motion blur here, and we are. You can see there's some motion blur there. Maybe if we move over to another frame, you can see the motion blur is a little bit there. There's a little bit of motion blur. We're not going that fast. We can make the sphere go faster if we want more extreme motion blur. Let's shrink those keyframes a little bit. Should have faster motion blur. You can see there it is, a little bit bigger. But when you do a motion blur pass, you don't want this to be rendered. But already in the motion vectors, we already have vector data. You can see it's there. You can see it's the red channel. Let's put it here. You can see in the red channel we have data. We have data in the green channel, and we can even we don't have any. So there it is. That's your motion blur pass. But you only want this, not the. You see, this is moving. This is the motion vector pass. But you don't want the motion vector to be applied to the color, because you want to apply that at render time. I mean in compositing. So here, when you allow motion blur, you should go all the way here in the sampling area and disable allow motion blur here. Now we don't have motion blur here in the color pass or the diffuse pass, but we have the vector pass here with motion blur. What else can I say about the motion blur pass or the vector pass? Let's see. Put it maybe to 32 bits, and the opacity filtering, I think it's alright with opacity filtering. Yeah, so there you go. You have motion blur pass in with for your compositing. That should work in Nuke, in whatever application. Cool. Cropping. Now that we are here in Mantra, there is an option here. Are you rendering in Mantra, Grant? That those images that are being cut, are those in Mantra? Let me see. Ishbane probes the alpha, because I know Redshift has that option as well. But there is an option for, I'm not sure where it is, but I've seen it. Allow depth of blur, render. I don't remember what the option is, but there is an option to crop the image. Object script driver. Override. Did you find the option? Because I can't find it. Metadata. I can't find the option. But there should be an option somewhere. Initialize. Nah, I can find it. Oh, are you doing in Redshift? Yeah, Redshift. There is a checkbox there. It's really simple to find. Jonathan. Hey, Jonathan says, hello, Medivoy. Sorry. Jonathan says there's an error. The temporary standing not deleted in network renderer. I don't really know what that is, Jonathan. Sorry. I don't know. I've never seen that issue. Oh, okay, so data EXR data window makes sense. Makes sense. But it's weird that it's happening to you just by default. It shouldn't happen by default, Grant. Okay. Anyway, cool. Yeah, I'm not sure what's happening with your issue, Jonathan. Maybe if I can see the file or. So what happens? Are you trying to render something and it's failing, or I'm not sure what the issue is there. Yeah, so maybe you're good at it, Grant. You're good at breaking Houdini. I don't know. So any other questions? Did I miss some questions? Yeah, so Medivoy, Fem and Liquid interacting stuff. Well, it's just a matter of making them interact. It's not that difficult actually. So we could try something. I don't know. We can try and fail. Let's do a sphere. I'm not gonna do anything complex. So you're saying influenced by a fluid. Let's see if I can make something here. I'm gonna make this a solid object, which is basically a fem object. Organic mass. That's gonna be it. It's gonna fall. Yay. Let's create a ground plane. Falls. You can see it's a fem object. It's deforming. Now let's create a fluid tank. Ocean. No, I want a fluid tank. Where's the tanks? I always lost my tanks. Oh, flat tank. Flat ocean tank. Is that what I want? Is that what I want? Is that the question? Or is that an answer? No one knows. Flat tank. Let's do the flat tank. I don't know. So there's a flat tank and it's huge. I don't want to have it that huge. I want to make it smaller because we are not going to simulate that long. It's huge for what we want. So let's make the ball bigger. Let's make the sphere bigger. And let's pull it up. Now let's remove that collision now. That ground plane, because that guy. Remove it. So now we have a tank. And we have a fem object. And it's falling into the water. And now the fem object is moving the water. You can see it moving, right? But if we want the fluid to affect the other objects, you need to put the feedback on the fluid object. You go to the flip solver there. There's an option over here. Where is it? Where is it? Is it a volume motion? No, it's set in volume motion. Where are you? Solver. Ah, yeah, here it is. So it is in volume motion, and the fluid solver, volume motion solver, feedback scale. You can put this back maybe to 1. Now the fem object should float. if but this is just trying to say the fluid's gonna affect other objects like any other dynamic object. In this case, I think this is too heavy, but let's put the feedback scale up to maybe 10. And eventually we can get it to be affected by the fluid. It's going down. Is it gonna be affected? We don't know. Nah, not yet. Seems like we need more scale. Maybe 100. Use OpenCL. Yeah, use OpenCL. Why not? Let's see if it works with OpenCL. It's a little bit faster. Cool. Okay, so it's not interacting correctly. Maybe we need more scale. Maybe the fem object is too freaking dense. But yeah, this is how you would do it with the feedback scale. You can, it will be stronger as you add more particles. Right now I have too little particles, I think, for this to work. Maybe we can even go and maybe make the sphere not so dense. There should be maybe a density attribute for this. Maybe not. There's no density. Should have density. Well, anyway, you can try that and see if that affects it, or you can extract the velocity from the fluid and affect the other object. But the feedback scale should work. I don't know why it's not working for me right now. Nothing works when I'm live, and as soon as I stop it, everything works. But that should work. Try it. See us there. Hey, Nodeness, what's up? When I do a render of a simulation, the geometry in the viewport turns black. That's weird. Yeah, Houdini has some issues sometimes with the viewport. What I do is I just reset the desktop. Whatever desktop you're using, just go here and say reload current desktop, and it's gonna refresh the viewport. If the geometry is going black, it's not that the geometry is gonna render black. It's just a display issue. So don't worry too much about it. So yeah, I don't think it's a big of an issue, Jonathan. Mediboy, yeah, you can deform it with the fluid, of course. Maybe just get the you can even maybe solve the fluid first and then have the surface of it just deform with the fem object. That way faster, because you already solved the fluid, and then we're just gonna cache that fluid, have the surface of it collide with the fem object, and it's gonna deform it for sure. Alright, any other questions? Oh, somebody asked me this question, so I'm gonna do this. Let's put a new file. And this guy was trying to mix materials to put a logo on a cap. He was maybe doing an ad for a soft drink. So let's create a tube. I'm not gonna model a full cap, but I'm just gonna model something quickly here. I've been modeling all freaking day. Stop. So I'm just gonna do, I'll just leave this part. I'm just gonna poly extrude this part, make it an inset here, and I don't like that. I like to have quads here, so let's fill that with quads, and let's bevel this part. And look, ma, I modeled really fast because I've been modeling all day. Now let's just select everything and extrude it to give it some thickness, and output back, and we have some thickness. We have a pretty basic cap, right, for a cap of a soft brick or something. Let's subdivide this because it's really low res for now. Maybe 2. Add some polygons here at the edges to hold them. Dude, my tutorials work. I learned something. Alright, so just model a cap really quickly, right? Alrighty. There we go. Let's hide the edges. So let's just pretend this is a good model. And then you're gonna add a logo here. So he had this orange and the logo was blue. So let's try to do it. He wanted to do it with mixing material, so let's do that. Let's do a principal shader since we are using mantra. Let's call this orange. Orange, not orange. And let's put this orange, really bright orange, and then let's make this blue. It's like a royal blue, kind of like that, but not too harsh. Let's do that. So I'm gonna add the orange material there, which is not orange for some freaking reason. Now it's orange, and we're gonna add the logo on the top. So what I said, and I was kind of an asshole in this answer, but I said, dude, you need UVs, and of course you need UVs. You want to add a logo to something, you need a texture, and so you need UVs. So I'm gonna add UVs to the top of this, and since I made this whole thing like that, I'm gonna just leave with it. Let's pretend this is the very high density model. So I'm just gonna project a texture on top of it. We don't need the whole thing. So I just selected the top, and it's just gonna UV project, and it's gonna project. Oh no, come on, don't do that. I don't want to select that. Just UV projected with the freaking selection that I have. I hate when that happens. UV texture then. UV texture, there we go. UV texture just leaves me alone. So if we go to the UVs, we have this in UVs. So let's download a logo or something. Let's what can we use? Go 0. Oh no, I know what we can use. I know what we can use. Let's save this file because it's gonna be make training. That's the old one. LearnDay webinars. Let's make a folder. LearnDay episode 20. I mean 39. The 39. LearnDay episode 39. We are awesome. Let's call this soda cap. Is it called a cap? 11. Whatever. Alright, so I'm gonna use my logo because my logo is cool. Alright, so So we have a texture. We're gonna project a texture there. If we just do a quick UV shade, we can show whatever texture there. You can see we have a texture there already, right? So we can put, let's do this logo there. It's too big, but we can modify the scaling and positioning and whatever of the IVs and ANAVs. So yeah, my logo is a little bit small, so don't worry about it. You should have your own version of this that fits in your cap, right? But now we can use this logo to mix the textures, right? We can? Let's try it, because I didn't try this actually. But let's try it. Let's see. Let's say. We could try. Let me see what we can try. I don't want this thing there. Can we load a file here? No. But we can load a texture. We can load a texture, and we can put the UVs of this thing into the UV coordinates. We can connect it to this, so it's gonna match the UVs here. So now we can mix these two materials here. Mix. What is it? Mix or layer mix? Layer mix. There we go. Let's put the orange on top and the blue on the bottom, and then the layer mix. Oh, layer mix is gonna blah, blah. Well, the alpha is gonna be the texture here. So now we're gonna add this to the texture instead of the material instead of the orange one. So let's do this guy. Solving issues on the fly. Solving issues on the fly. So there we go. We have that, and let's see if it worked, because we can't see it here. Let's do a little render. My friend Mantra PBR should be the one doing this. Let's render that, and let's see the magic that we did. Is it working? Who knows? It takes forever. Oh, there's a mandrel because we didn't load the texture. Yay! Let's load the right texture, which is the logo. Now look at that. It works. It works. So that's what he wanted to do, but of course the logo should be formatted correctly. If I want to put it exactly where I want, I should go to the to here, save the texture UVs to somewhere. Maybe make this 512 because why not? Say cap UVs, put this as a PNG like that. Accepted. Let's load Mr. GIMP. La, 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 la. Oh my god, that's another GIMP. That's the unstable version of GIMP. No worries. Let's open the file. Mixness should be around here. So let's go to this one. This is the UVs. So this is the UVs of this, and now I will put my logo there, which is gonna be super big. Thank you, Mr. Me, because I was ready for doing something like this. So now let's make it smaller, fit into the cap there. Make it smaller. Make it smaller. There we go. Now it fits exactly. I just put it or whatever you want it on the texture there. Let's just hide that. Let's fill the whole thing with black. Let's create a new layer. Create a new layer. Make it this GIMP is weird. Visible. I don't know this GIMP. Oh, here we go. Foreground color is black. Alright, so it's black. Don't want to do that. So let's save this image. Save as. Here to. No, I want to export as, and call this cap texture. Like that, and export that. Yeah, export that. Now we're gonna do that texture instead of the other one. Here, let's load it here. This one, and the render should look better. Whoa, my dogs are crazy. So it's rendering. There we go. It's the other way around. Sorry guys, my dogs are crazy. Alright, so there's somebody at the door. So that's just because of the UV texture wrongness there, and now just 180. So there we go. You have a mixed raining drink there. So there you go. You can mix some textures, materials with that. Alright, let's see if there's more questions. So if you're watching this, you're welcome. Alright, baking seems inconsistent, often yielding blank bake despite the setting with the same as a clean one. I don't bake stuff in Houdini. Sorry. I bake all my stuff. If you're saying like baking textures and normals and stuff in Houdini Cinema, I don't do it. I bake that in Substance Painter because it just looks better. I'm sorry. But yeah. Noteness, can I show you how to make renders look sexy? Just add a girl to your render and it will look pretty damn sexy, dude. How can you make them look sexy? Well, I don't know, man. It depends on what you need. Some people just add file lots to renders so they look better. Like I do that sometimes. You can see file, no, not file, see the fusion. So maybe try lots and do it in comp. Let me change this guy to be smaller again because everything's so huge and the window that I'm sending out or grabbing is so small. So let me do this. Let's see if it works because this thing fails sometime in this setup. Alrighty, let's see if it. So what I do, let's open that project I was talking about. Actually, we can open it here maybe. There we go. Let's see if I have it here. It's so freaking small. Alright. So yeah, it is here. So you can see, let me go to the default layout. Default layout. There we go. That's the default layout. And have for just one. You can see this. I think this render looks pretty sexy. Oh man, sexy. So this is the raw footage. Actually, let's show you the framing. So this is this is footage, right? And this is my render, which looks like crap right out of the box. You can see it doesn't look that good. When I put those two things together, I have some shadows there, has some brightness to the lamp. Put those two things together, they don't look sexy. They don't. Like, why? So I add some soft glow to the whole thing to make it glowy. Now the the lamp is glowing a little bit more. Then I add a file lot here at the very end You see, this lot just colors the frame differently and makes it go from boring to sexy. I think it's sexy. You can just disable and see the difference. It's way better. So yeah, try file lots. You can maybe and glows look sexy and see if they work for you. Ellen Cran, do you work with environment variables, path, texture pattern, etc.? I guess we all do, man, because Houdini is based on that stuff. But yes, I always set my project. You can see here preferences, ls, and variables. There's the job variable here. I always set that to my project folder. I always work with projects, and like I even have my project manager here. I can see this is my lamp project, or this is the another project. I have a few projects here, but I always work with projects, and I have my models here, and I always work with variables. Yep, I do work with that all the time, dude. Some fast modeling. It was so simple, man. It wasn't cool. Damn Francis Yates Fan Club. Oh, that's a really cool name. Damn Francis. Cool. Monelco. Good night from Guyana. Cool, man. Good night. Night. I mean, hello. The topic is you ask questions, I answer like a freaking monkey. So yeah, no more questions, guys, or what? Come on, I want to answer questions. I'm gonna keep modeling this cap if you guys don't give me any questions. Yeah, whatever, Houdini, don't want that. So if we want to add some extra detail to this, let's put a tube with caps. Make it really small. Make it collide with the cap a little bit. There should be like, you make it even smaller. Kinda like, yeah, like that's good. Move it so it's touching the cap a little bit. Then just copy transform this guy. Put like a bunch of copies, like 100, to rotate 360 divided by 100. And let's just copy this guy. Copy and reference and 360 divided by that, and let's give it some more, 200, 150. Then let's boolean this, the crap out of this thing. Boolean. Now I want to subtract B from A. There we go. Now we have a bunch of little cuts on the edge there. Do we? This doesn't seem like it's cutting. Oh, I have this thing on. Turn it off. There we go. Now that's not what we want. A from B. B from A. Subtract, dude. Why is it not subtracting? Surface and surface. Subtracted. There we go. It's not subtracting it. Weird. Oh, yeah, there it is. It's cutting. But I don't know why it's not cutting correctly. Is this has end caps? Yeah, it does. You need to cut, dude. you need to cut this thingy. Let's turn it the other way around. Let's see if it works. No, B from A. That's weird. Why are you not cutting it? I hate you. Subtract both? No. Why? I've done this before. What the hell? Union work? It's just totally not. That shouldn't work. Houdini is kind of crazy sometimes. So we just have a bunch of detail there. Totally necessary detail. Let's compare it back and forward. So if your question was how to add really unnecessary detail to a piece, there you go. Boolean the hell out of it. Sorry guys, I'm just having a lot of fun here. You can see there's a lot of detail there. It looks really nice actually. Looks really cool. We can compare it with the previous one, which looks boring. Cool, boring, 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 cool. Right. Is there any more questions? More questions. I tried bake height to low poly. I keep having odd issues. Make sure you have your UVs correctly. Sometimes the UVs are the issues, man. If you have overlapping UVs, that could have make you have issues. And also change the baking options to make T. Is it called make T? Bake texture. Let's see what it looks. It's called. It should be around here. Baking. Yeah, use the make T tangent space, which is actually redundant here because the T is tangent. So it shouldn't say make T tangent. Okay, so the Department of Redundancy department. What is no more questions? I tried using a FEM solver on geometry that was building and growing. It did not work because FEM solver used the geometry from the first frame. Is there a way to have it continually solve? I don't know. Should be. Maybe you can feed the solver, make it a dynamic object, not just a static active object. Make it a dynamic active object grant, because that's actually what I did with my letter that expand there. Like, let's go to Vimeo. Let's go to Vimeo. How does it said? Vimeo? 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 I don't know. How the hell do I go to my here it is. This one, it's actually kind of a FEM object. It's changing, it's growing, and then it's interacting. So it is possible. You just need to make it a dynamic active object. I don't think residual and it's residual, it's sorry, particle skull. I don't think residual is supported in Redshift yet, but I've used it in geometry, but not at render time. It's not working. So what about this node nest? What about this node nest? I don't know what you want to say. How do you do that? It was just a masking two textures, two materials basically. So I just show you how to mix two materials. Just make it animated, the color, and you can do something like that. The roads need to be closed. They were close. They were close. Cap the roads. They were capped. Monel Cole, you are a beginner in Houdini. Any good advice? Go buy my new training in about 1 or 2 weeks. It's modeling for beginners from very beginning. I recommend you keep an eye on Mix Training, mixtrn.com. I'm gonna have a lot of really beginner courses, so please stand by. We're gonna cover you guys, the really beginners. We're gonna cover you guys because everybody forgets about you. Can you calculate the curvature map properly? I noticed booleans mess with the curvature settings adversely. Again, Cinema, I don't do that stuff in Houdini. I do all that stuff in Painter and Substance Painter. I'm sorry, because it just works better. Do you use FEM Cloud Solver in production? Is it good enough? Yeah, it's great. I've used it for some stuff, and of course it takes some time to be to work. It calculates a lot of stuff, but yeah, it's useful. You can do it. But particles go. I think that stuff. Are you doing that for fluids? Flip fluids with flip. It should be just geometry stuff. So just solve that stuff in geometry. It should work in geometry. And redshift doesn't matter. Doesn't really care what you send it, because it's just, you're just gonna be sending a geometry at the end of the day. So if you just send in geometry to redshift, it will just do whatever you want it to render. So deal with your res fields before you render to redshift, and that will be my advice. Martin Garcia says, I have a problem importing my own AVC curves to the grooming hair dynamics. Could you make an example? Well, I don't have curves to import, so I don't know how to make an example to that, dude. And I always do all the hair I do it in Houdini, so I don't import from anywhere else, so it's kind of hard for me to do that. Can I do a tutorial on all nodes? That would be a really long tutorial, man. Or Monel, I'm not sure if you're a girl or a boy. But yeah, doing a tutorial on all nodes is just too much. You will never finish. You can read the Houdini documentation for that, because nobody's gonna make a tutorial about that. It's just too much, and nobody will see it. Actually, nobody will see that. It's just too much. Object nodes, there are you can see, let me find, you can see in the Houdini documentation here, there's a nodes section. Let's say geometry nodes. Go inside there and click on nodes here, and you can see all the nodes are listed here, and you can click on any one of them and say, okay, I want to see what the attribute transfer does, and then you can read about it here. Or any node in Houdini, you don't know what it does, you can just press F1 on it. it will bring you to the no, here. If you press here in the node, this little question mark here, it will open the help card for that. You can see it opened the UV texture help card for this, so you can do that for your notes if you know what they do, but it's just nobody will watch that tutorial, man. So just go ahead and read the Houdini documentation. Is so great. So all the information you need is there. This is not what I want to see. So yeah, go ahead and just see it on your own in Houdini. All the information you need is there. Alright, any more questions? I'm so freaking sick. My throat hurts so much. I've been just sick for a few days, and my throat it's just I hate to feel like this. And I had to record the training, and I had to do it like that. So, man, it was hard. So, any more questions, guys, before I go? I don't know. What time was I here? Let's see what time. YouTube says we've been live for 55 minutes. Maybe it's time to wrap it up. Unless you have more questions, I'm gonna go. Yeah, no worries, Monel. I try to help, but yeah, all that information, it's in the Houdini help. It's all there, and just create any other node you want to know about attribute blur, and just click that little help button, and it will give you the help. This is what it does. This is how you can use it. This is all the parameters you can. Besides doing this kind of tutorial, it's so boring for me. I don't like that kind of tutorial. This node does this. Now the next node. This node does that. Blah, blah, blah. Try a spoon of honey with a bit of lemon. I had like 3 of those already. Nothing is working for me. I had the honey with lemon. I had a tea with lemon. I had a freaking Claritin for the allergies. No, but nothing is helping. I don't know what I have now. Maybe I'm gonna freaking die. Woo, dying. It's not fun. Alright, so if nobody's saying anything, I'm gonna try to add something that I was wondering about in this, which was bump map for this, since displace mode. Oh, I can connect some surface mode, displacement, because this guy, one of these guys should have. Maybe I can connect. I can put another principal shader. I'm trying to add some bumpiness to this. Maybe if I connect this to the base color, and then go to the bump normals, enable. Oh, is the crap? Is the noise bump gone? Yeah, I think it is. I want to add some noise bumpiness. Enable texture, noise displacement. Let's try noise displacement. But make it really small. Displacement, amplitude 0.1. This is gonna just destroy this. It's getting me now. Oh, but I'm not adding the wrong. I'm adding the wrong thing. So let's call this disp or displacement. Let's add it to the object. This. Let's see if it works, because yeah, it's not working. Invalid assignment from shader to vector. Yeah, it's not working. I should connect this to the layer input. Is there a layer input? No, it's not working. It's not what I wanted to do. Alright. Alrighty. Displacement mode mix. It's not what I wanted. Alright, so I guess I'm gonna go. Wasabi and seaweed salad. One skirmy for McCall instant tea. Is there a local sushi shop? Wasabi and seaweed. Hey, Ukraine, Mexico here. What's up? Shut up, tequila. I don't drink. I don't like the taste of that stuff. Max Craw. Yeah, you're welcome, man. You're learning Python, having problems with adding keyframes. There's a set expression thing. I think with Python you can add keyframes to stuff with. No, I don't remember, but I have done it before with Python. I think it's a set expression, set keyframe something. Sorry, I don't remember from the top of my head, Max. You want to keyframe automatically specific objects? Well, you can turn on the auto keyframe. Maybe I'm not sure if that's what you mean. Shut off tequila with red pepper. What the hell? I don't want to die. I try to make a fuck with noise. I wanted. Yeah, I've done that before, Martin. You can do it with it's pretty simple to do, actually. Let's do a new file. Let's create a sphere. Let's create a polygon free array. Let's make it mountain. Let's just add some noise to it. I don't know, just whatever. Then you can make this into an ISO surface, an ISO offset to make it a fog. Then you can multiply this with some noise in the volume bob here. Then just multiply your density. You're multiplying the density with some noise, like the turbulent noise, the famous and amazing turbulent noise. Put the position there. Multiply it with that, connect it to the density, and now we have that. Let's give it some more resolution, because right now it sucks. Like, it's calculating. There we go. And we are on wireframe for some reason. Seems like no, we don't. All right. So now this thing, it's too big, I think. Let's make it smaller, actually bigger. And let's make this 3D noise and maybe Perlin. So there you go. You have noise that it's noisy. I mean volume that it's noisy, but let me Put the amplitude maybe down. Can maybe make it just so we can visualize it here in the viewport. You can see if I go inside the volume, I still have that noise. It is there. So just make a huge box or whatever, put some noise there, and it would work like that. You have noise inside your sphere or whatever object you want to do that. Alright, Martin. Are you still thinking about slicing gel body? Remember? Oh yeah, I have it on my notes. Cool VFX, but I haven't done it. Sorry, been busy with other stuff. I am sorry. But yeah, you can do noisy noises like that, noisy volumes like that. Woo, noisy volume. I've done this for fog effects for a film, for a short film actually. No problem, Martin. No problem, my friend. My friend though. Alright guys, I'm gonna go. My throat is just killing me. I'm gonna drink something. Everything. And then a little bit more. I don't know what I'm gonna do. This sucks, and I can't even sleep well because it's just torturing me all night. It's horrible. It's horrible. Alright guys, thank you for being here, and thank you for bringing me some questions, because I like to answer your questions. I like to help you guys. Alright guys, keep an eye on Mix Training please. We're gonna be releasing the site really soon with new material, new authors or new mentors, not just me, and it's gonna be really cool. Thank you, Grant. I really hope I can feel better as well. Let's have some mints at least. Alright guys, see you next week, and let's keep learning together, alright? Keep learning, you guys. Keep learning and teaching me stuff. See you guys later. Bye. You know the drill. The button is up here. I can never find it. Cheers.